Hey guys, it's Becky Bamboo. Today is December 20th, 2010. It's Monday, so as it's a Monday, it's a weekly weigh-in day. Today is my week 25, post-op RNY gastric bypass update video. Um, I started my journey, for those of you who don't know, and I repeat this every week because every week I get new subscribers. And as I'm still subscribing to people, I try to repeat things because I don't have time to go back and watch somebody's entire library if they've been doing a lot of videos. And we all know I do a lot of videos. So I like to repeat this. So for those of you who are chronic watchers of mine, you already know what my starting weight is. I'm not repeating it just to annoy you. I'm just repeating it for those of you who don't know. So 424 is where I started. Last week I weighed in at 274, which was a total of 150 pounds lost. That was my Christmas goal. I wanted to be at 150 pounds lost by Christmas, so I actually hit it 2 weeks early, which was really cool. This week I weighed 271. 271. I'm almost out of 270s. That's insane. So 271 was a 3-pound loss this week and puts me at 153 total. Life is so unbelievably good right now. I mean, it is just so sweet right now. I'm noticing it seems like everywhere I go, I'm getting more and more comments and compliments, and compliments are a new thing for me. I'm not used to them. I have to physically force myself to spit out the words thank you because it's such a... I never got that before. I never got, God, you look great before. And even my husband, I've noticed recently, has been complimenting me a lot. And even with him, I have to sort of force out, thank you. That means a lot that you said that. We had a very interesting discussion this weekend, and I wanted to kind of share it with you guys a little bit. And I'll give you, the background of where this all started. In my office is kind of a wreck right now because some of the stuff that's normally in the living room is in here because of all the Christmas decorations. One of those things is our wedding album. And this normally sits on our coffee table in our living room. And I honestly don't look at it much. The last time I looked at it was our anniversary. We went through it together and looked in October at our wedding pictures. And even then we were just like, oh my gosh, this is weird to look at them. But for whatever reason, Saturday night, we got home from the gym, and my husband was in here working on my computer, and I was sitting on the couch, and I just decided, oh, I'll flip through the book. The very first picture I came to, my wedding album's kind of in a chronological order, so it starts with our rehearsal dinner and moves through to the wedding day and obviously the reception and whatnot. But the first picture I came to is a picture of myself and my dad, and it's the first time he walks me down the aisle in sort of the practice mode. And I just started to cry. Because I'm going to tear up again. Not only physically do I not look like this woman in this picture, I can tell by looking at my eyes and my smile. There was just so much was hidden. I wasn't even me in this picture. And I wanted to share it with you guys. It's going to be hard to see. There may be a glare, so kind of bear with me here. But, yeah. There it is. It's shocking. That's shocking to see. I never, at my heaviest, I never identified myself as being that huge. Looking back now, it saddens me that I got that big. And obviously I wasn't aware that I was getting that big. But at the same time, I still identify with that big girl. My husband and I went to church yesterday morning, and we went to Cracker Barrel after. As we were sitting there, I noticed we were kind of in a corner, and up the aisle from us, there was kind of two ways you could exit. Up one way and then kind of out the other way. So up the first way, they were putting tables together, and they literally blocked off the exit. And so I just kind of was thinking to myself, like, oh gosh, that seems weird. And it wasn't like 2 minutes later until going the other way, the other exit aisle, did somebody sit down who had a baby carriage, and they put a chair at the end of a table for four with the baby. I guess it's like one of the, I don't know what you call these things. That's awful, but I don't know what you call them. Like, like the travel, when you carry your baby around and you're traveling or whatever. But they put that on the chair at the end of the table, and it pretty well blocked off that aisle. And that fat girl in me started, like, I just kind of was like sitting there, and all of a sudden I realized what I was thinking. And I just started to smile, and Jared was like, well, what's going on? And I said, I'm having a moment right now where the fat girl in me, I'm still identifying with that huge size, and I'm panicked. I'm getting anxiety and panic because I see that way is blocked off. There's like a little small place to get through. And then I see that way, the only other way to get out of here, is blocked off with just a little small path to get through. And he's like, but that's not he's like, you can easily fit through there. I said, I know, I can now, but I still identify in my mind with being that big, huge size, and knowing how much space I need to get through any area, and knowing how much space I need to sit at a table. And I just instantly went into my head, and I could feel my heart rate starting to go up and up and up, and I had to like remind myself, wait a minute, I'm not that anymore. I can easily fit through there. And it was just kind of like one of those aha moments you get where it's like, oh, I'm normal. I can fit through that. I mean, I'm not normal by any means, but I can definitely fit through spaces like that. And so the panic just stopped. As soon as like I just stopped the trigger, I stopped and I went, wait a minute, no, I'm not 424 pounds. I'm 270. I can do this, So, yeah, that's a pretty big deal. So in a lot of ways, I still identify with the very large me. But at the same time, seeing pictures of me at that size, I don't identify with that. So anyway, as I was flipping through my wedding album the other night, I started crying, and it was like just this flood of emotion that kind of came out. And the thing is I was there, I was present that day, but I don't think I was completely present that day. And I was there in the physical sense, but I don't know that I was there in the emotional, mental, sense. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad that I probably, in hindsight, shouldn't have gotten married at that time, because I was so sick. I was so sick physically from being that big, and I was so sick mentally from being that big and from being that large for so long. So all I could muster up saying in my, massive amount of tears was that I wanted a redo. When I hit goal, I want a redo of this. I want to renew my vows, and I want the opportunity to be present, not just in the physical sense, if you guys understand what I mean. So we had a very interesting conversation about my size, and it's interesting because my husband said, he fell in love with me when I was about the size I am now, or maybe just slightly heavier, probably pretty close to the same though. And he said all along, all these years, he's just continued to see me as that same size. He's never really, and it's not necessarily because he didn't want to see me as the big person. He just always identified with me as the woman that he fell in love with. And I find it interesting, and we had kind of different viewpoints on this, because I have been identifying myself as like this horrible whale of a person, and never really understood why he would even marry me at the size that I was. And you know, to hear him say it's just because he never really saw it as that. He saw me as what I am, and that was it. And it was a very interesting conversation. And so I told him, I said, I really, really hope that, you know, maybe for our 5th year anniversary or something like that, that I'll be at my goal and we can renew our wedding vows and I can be present, entirely present for that. And it's weird because I said, you know, when I said that, he's like, do you regret getting married? And I said, oh, no. It's not that I regret getting married. It's that I regret that I didn't even know. I didn't even know that I wasn't there. That's what's weird, is I didn't even know that I really wasn't all into it. I can only say that now because can reflect back at that, and I can see the difference in what I am now versus what I was then. And of course, when I got married, gastric bypass was not even like in my head. I mean, it had been in my head for years, but it was never even like a thought that it would be a reality for me at any point in my life. Had it been that way, I probably would have insisted that we wait to get married. Having said that, right now in this moment, I'm really glad to have these pictures. I have a whole album of pictures that I can look back at and go, I never want to go back to this. I never want to go back to the point that I was. And despite how I remember feeling that day, I remember feeling pretty. I remember feeling special. And, you know, I don't remember feeling negative that day. But when I look at these pictures, my mind reminds me that there was some pretty big negatives to that day. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and I really wanted to share that with you guys because it takes a, you know, this is hard. This is hard. This is the hard part of this. The feeling better, and, you know, even going to the gym is not easy, but it's easy compared to the looking back at the old you and really reflecting on how sick you were. I mean, I look at these pictures and the first thing that comes to my mind is, how long would I have lived? How long would I have lived in that body? Would I have lived 5 years, 10 years, or, you know, would I have died in a year? I was killing myself at that size. Very unhealthy, very not active, very miserable, very sad. And you can see, you look at these pictures, if you look at my eyes, you can see sadness in almost every picture. The smile is there, but it's not real. It doesn't look genuine. It looks like an effort to try to be comfortable with the person that I was and the body that I was in. And God, I was not comfortable. I was not comfortable as that. And then it didn't make any things any easier when I got to this picture. This picture right here. This one. My grandma and grandpa. My grandma passed away this year, and those are hard. It's really hard. So this is the work that we have to do in this journey. And I wanted to share this because for those of you who are post-op or even pre-op, be prepared. This goes beyond just losing weight and seeing the scale change and putting on different size clothes. You've got to go back to this, and you've got to re-identify with this, with what you were and where you were, and you got to keep remembering how you felt. And I have to do this because I don't intend to go back to this. So in a way, I'm having to let go of a part of my life. This, my wedding day, that's a huge moment in life. And I kind of got to let go of it. So it's weird and it's difficult. So I needed to share that with you guys. And here again, it's Monday and I've cried through the whole video. So I'm so sorry. That's terrible. Anyway, I'm done crying. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. I'm sure I'll do another video before the week's out, so I'll see you guys soon. Love you. Mwah.